All right, as you gather with friends and family for the holidays, some people feel a great sense of relief and comfort. Others feel a little bit of anxiety as the family gets together. Dr. Gonzales in with us this morning to talk a little bit about the meaning of gratefulness, which ties in very closely to Thanksgiving. Good morning to you this morning.
Good morning, Kiyoshi. Feeling grateful today.
Yeah, you know, and this thing that's interesting is, and you and I were just chatting about this, there's actually a whole body of research on gratitude. It's something that psychologists actually study, right?
Yes, it is. There's been some pioneers in this studying. Guys like Emmons, guys like Froh and Watkins have done some studies at Hofstra University in New York, UC Davis, and talked about how this can be a real buffer against stress. And there's been surveys, the Harris survey in '09 showed us about 90% of the people feel holiday stress and anxiety. And these researchers have said, hey, the attitude of gratitude can be a great buffer against stress.
And we're going to run down some of the benefits in just a second. But what I thought was kind of interesting, and I was thinking, when I think of gratitude, I was thinking of attitude, but you're like, that's not necessarily the case. Just because you're positive doesn't necessarily mean you're that you're grateful for things. You don't have to, necessarily discount and forget all the bad things, right?
No, it's not just about putting your smiley face and being, happy, but it's being appreciative and grateful and being thankful for things you do have. And these things could be your health, could be your love, could be, your family, to be, having freedom, having electricity. And sometimes it's also staying connected to some of the things that we, some of the bad times we've had. So you have a contrast of perspective to keep you grateful. But they've showed that there's basically 4 things that have really been a benefit from the gratitude studies.
First one's relationships?
Yeah, relationships. What they've found in relationships is that people that had a higher instance of gratitude correlated with an increased number of social relationships and more satisfaction in their social and professional relationships.
So they're happier overall.
Correct.
Okay, mental health, that kind of ties in as well, if you're happier because of the gratitude.
Yeah, well, what it showed is people that a higher instance of gratitude correlated with more optimism, more stress resiliency, more happiness, and less problems with envy, depression, and alcohol abuse.
So it can actually make you healthier physically as well.
Correct. General health, they found that they had more energy, they were exercising more, and they did some inpatient setting studies where they showed people were recovering quicker from illnesses and also had a less incidence of viral infections.
And students actually do better in class.
Children and adolescents, they found higher goals, higher academics, less envy, and less materialism, a big issue during this time of year.
And really quickly, 10 seconds left, how do you become more grateful?
Well, what they do with these people, they train them things like keeping a gratitude journal, a daily thing about what things you're grateful for, document things that you give and receive, have visual cues about things that you're grateful for, people, places, situations that make you feel grateful, emphasizing what you do have, not what you don't have.
And I've seen a lot of people doing that on Facebook of late, especially in their feeds, people having a day post every single day of one thing that they're thankful for that day. It's kind of an online journal of sorts.
It's important to emphasize, as you know, Kiyoshi.
All right, Dr. Gonzales, thank you so much for coming in with us this morning.
Always a pleasure.
All right, Maggie, let's send it back to you.
All right, it's now 6:20.